not too long ago, in a village called Ungwa, there existed an evil practice, a practice of unaliving visitors, tourists, and unsuspecting victims who visited Ungwa village. Now, Ungwa village is in a country in West Africa. The country is supposed to be the most populous African nation. This story is a true life story. Now, the Ungwa people have a particular method of capturing unsuspecting victims. They usually dug a hole in the middle of their living room and cover the hole with a mat. Now, when they had visitors or tourists who were new to the village and the culture of the people, they'll need them to sit on that mat. But whoever sat on the mat would sink into the hole and get baited with hot water by the visitors, and eventually, unalive. The visitors would then be turned into a meal by the Ungwa people. This was an evil practice, which I hope should not be existing at this time. But I tell you a story from 1978. You see, back in school, a Lufo and a Yiba were friends. Good friends and partners in study. Elofo was from a different tribe and culture, but the Hiba was from the Ungwa village. After school, Elofo decided to visit a Hiba in his village. These were two good friends. They had planned to start a business after school. But with the Hiba returning to his village, the plan seemed to be going extinct. So Elofo decided to write him a letter. But then, that was 1978. You had to wait for the reply to the letter. Truly, Ehiba got the letter from his friend Elofo, telling him of an intended visit to the Ungwa village. But Elofo did not receive on time the reply from Ehiba, telling him not to come to the village, as the letter was mistakenly sent to another address. And so Elofo waited for some months, and after not getting a reply from Ehiba, decided to visit the Ungwa village. Now, on arrival at the Ungwa village and the address of his old school friend, Elofo discovered that the Hiba was out of town. He was, however, welcomed by the family of Ehiba, who looked so happy to have him in their midst. Now, the Ungwa people had a liking for light-skinned people. When they saw light-skinned people, they are triggered to perform the evil act of letting them sit on the mat of death. And so, when they saw Elofo, they were happy for he was light-skinned. He looked good, and again was a stranger to the Umba culture. And they began to speak within themselves how they were going to unalive the young man and make a meal out of him. Elofo was shocked, for he was a linguist. He understood a lot of languages, though not a native of Umwa. He understood their language. He was from a faraway state and village, but he understood up to 5 languages of the country. So he could understand what the Umwa people was talking about. He was surprised, for Ehiba never told him that this was the culture of his people. But how could Ehiba have told his friend? For he was ashamed of the evil culture of the Umwa people. And so, the young man, Elofo, was very wise. He pretended as if all was fine. He did not want to raise suspicion. If not, it would force him into sitting on the mat of death. And so Elofo played along with the relatives of Ehiba. He acted as if he did not hear what they were saying, even though he could understand the language. Now, he asked some of them, "Where can I ease myself quickly? I feel pressed." And they showed him to a local bathroom, just very close to the bush. And Elofo dropped his belongings with the people to make them feel like he was very much around. He went into the bathroom. It had a small window, but the young man forced himself through the window and out into the bushes. He took to his heels to save his life. After about 35 minutes, the relatives of Ehiba wondered what Elofo was doing. I mean, they were eager to have him sit on the mat of death, so they could unalive him and make a meal out of him. So they went to check him to see what he was doing. But alas, Elofo was gone. He had escaped. And so he was able to tell the story. And he finally got back to his people. He was able to tell the story of a people in Africa, of a people in West Africa who would unalive unsuspecting visitors, tourists, and make a meal out of them on the mat of death. I have told you this story for many reasons, but I hope this practice has stopped in that region. I sincerely do hope. Again, it is a good thing to learn a lot of languages. It is a good thing to be wise. For if Elofo had panicked, he would have been forced onto the mount of death. Again, it's a good thing to know who your friends are and where they come from. It saves a lot. And it's a good thing to tell people where you are from as well. And it's a good thing to always pray to God, for the Almighty God had saved Elofo. Till I see you again, that story. Watch out.